Good morning. Hope you're having a great day. And we're going to do some more teaching today on insulin, more specifically on insulin resistance. So hopefully everything is good. Good morning, Sandy and Andrea and Carol and Mike from Wawa, Diane, bonjour, Rosa, and Nick from our staff, Andrea, Len and Judy, Regina, good morning. Oh, our friend, Dr. Troy from Newfoundland, good to have you. Annette, how are you? Suzanne, Deb, and Wendy, dear friend Wendy, how are you? Jeanette from our staff, good morning. Reem, nice to have you. Beth, good to have you on with us this morning. You guys are great. Annette says bon matin, and I say bon matin back to you. Bernice, Kim from Florida, dear friend, Vicky, William, Noel. Good to have you guys. I appreciate it very much that you take time out of your busy day. Sherry and John and Nancy, you guys are great. Jerry from Nouveau-Brunswick. Oh, those Habs, they make me ill. Diane and Jean, good morning to you guys. Dear friends, another friend, Steph, Shanaz, Carol, Vanda. How are you, Vanda? Good to have you on with us this morning. Okay, and I'll go on with the rest. Helena. And I'm going to say hello to Yolande because she usually takes a minute to come on. Good to have you on. John, another John. Lynn and Yvette. Denise, good day from Alberta. And Frances, Marie, and Luella. Jocelyn, good morning. You guys are great. Thanks again for coming on. Okay, now, you guys know me, right? If you're new, you're going to learn something. But a lot of you know I like to use illustrations. It's just the way I think. And insulin, I've given some names to in the past, right? So insulin is a traffic cop. I was explaining yesterday to Dr. McEwen's students at the University of Tennessee. I was explaining to them about sugar left in your bloodstream. I just did a review because I talked more about other hormones yesterday, but your body, okay, just if you get this, I'm going to repeat it. Sugar is so toxic and your body knows it. It's funny that the world doesn't know it. The world doesn't know it. Even today, dietitians and nutritionists and whatever, you need some sugar. No, you don't. As a matter of fact, sugar is so toxic. Your body does everything it can to get it out of your bloodstream. Now, I used this illustration yesterday with these students, and I'll say it to you. If you ate 10 donuts, that's rat chow. You know how they feed rats in the laboratory? They give them, if they want to make them obese, they give them donuts. A terrible combination of sugar and fat. Like fat don't make you fat, but if you put it with sugar, it'll make you fat on steroids. Okay? So that's rat chow. But if you had 10 donuts, don't do it, but let's say you did. 10 donuts. Half an hour after you've eaten 10 donuts, your blood sugar will be back into its normal range. Now, I've showed you this in previous podcasts. Have a bowl of steel cut oats. Your blood sugar will go up to 21 in a nanosecond. Oh, Dr. Martin, it's oats. I don't care. Oats are for horses, not for you. Your blood sugar will go up to 21, but your body is so smart. Okay? Remember, fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139. Your body is so smart. It knows sugar is so toxic that even if you had 10 donuts, that within a half an hour, even less, your sugars will come back, unless you're a diabetic, of course, because now your insulin doesn't work. But your blood sugars will come back within that range. Because insulin, remember, one of my illustrations, what is insulin? Insulin is a traffic cop. And it will tell sugar, you come here, you cannot park in blood vessels. Don't park there. It's a no parking zone. Come here, I'm going to park you. And what does insulin do with sugar? It parks it in 3 different places. Muscles, that's why the bigger bins that you have, the bigger your bins are. Think about it. Muscles are storage for glycogen, stored sugar. Why do you think at the Martin Clinic we are so much for exercise, vitamin E, especially resistant exercises? Strengthen your muscles, and you know what? You got bigger bins to store. The other place is your liver. Muscle's about 400 grams of sugar. Your liver only about 100 grams. It's not a big compartment. But insulin, remember, think of how smart your body is. Now, guys, if you think that just happened by chance, I don't know how to talk to you about this. This is incredible. Think about it. Your body is so smart. Not only will insulin take sugar out of your bloodstream, not only will it store it, preferably in muscles or the liver, but when the liver is stacked with too much sugar, your body makes more bins. It does. It makes more bins to store. The problem with that is, of course, think about it. So when your insulin, the traffic cop, says, sugar, come here. You're in a no parking zone. I'm going to park you somewhere else. Muscles, liver. Now there's no more room. You've been eating too much sugar. But insulin's got a job to do. You know what it does? It creates more compartments around your liver. You know what those compartments are? Fat compartments. That's how you get fatty liver. That's how you get a fatty tummy. You get fat around your organs, you don't even know it. You can be skinny as a rake. If you're a bad eater, you do not undo a bad diet. Do you understand what I just said? Oh, my uncle lived till 110 and he smoked and he drank and he ate donuts all day. Well, your uncle, by the grace of God, lived till 110. That ain't gonna be you if you got a bad diet. Don't play Russian roulette with a loaded gun with only one compartment that doesn't have a bullet in it. Because when you play with a bad diet, you are going to pay for that. It's just the way your body works. You see, your insulin, the traffic cop, will make fat out of sugar. It'll make compartments. It's almost like I got this bag, it's it's a little, it's a backpack. Okay? I should have brought it as an illustration today. Okay? It's amazing what you can get in there. I bring it when I fly. Okay? What they want to charge you. All the airlines, they charge you $50 for having a suitcase. You'd be surprised what I can get in my backpack. That's what insulin does. It makes a backpack to store sugar as fat. It'll make fat compartments. But that ain't good for you. It ain't good for you because fat from sugar around your liver is very dangerous. So again, your body's unbelievable, what it is able to do. Let me give you something else about insulin. I'm going to give you two more illustrations that you know me for. One, the traffic cop. Come here. You can't park there. It's a no parking zone. Okay? Two, insulin is a jail guard. If you got my new book, you see insulin as the jail guard, and you see the prisoner behind the bars looking out, and the insulin is the jail guard. Listen, you want to lose weight? If in the presence of insulin, fat who is in jail can't get out. Remember, sugar is stored as fat. Dr. Martin, it's whole grains. I don't care if it's 29 grains. It's going to be sugar in 5 seconds. And then it's going to get stored as fat. And when you're trying to lose weight, it really, really matters what kind of food you're eating. It's not calories. It's not. If you don't eat at all, I guess you're going to lose weight. Unless you're a woman who's in a metabolic storm and her hormones, all a woman who is in a metabolic storm has to do to gain weight is look at food. You don't even have to consume it. Any woman out there that knows what I'm saying there? You don't have to put your hand up, but that there is the truth. If you're metabolically unwell, you don't, for most women, and this is what we talked about yesterday, it's one of the signs that you have insulin resistance. It's, hello. Your body's telling you that your insulin and other hormones like estrogen, ladies, your thyroid. My doctor said my thyroid it's normal within you know how many thousands of times I heard the word my doctor said? Ooh. It's within normal limits. I said, quit relying on the lab. It walks like a duck. It talks like a duck. It's a duck. It's your thyroid. But the thyroid, as I was explaining to those beautiful students yesterday, thyroid is a puppet. It's not independent of your other hormones, including insulin. So, fat loss, remember, in the presence of insulin, it's the jail guard. It's the traffic cop. It's the jail guard. Okay? And remember what I brought up? It's the pesky neighbor. You see, insulin, if you use it all the time, and this is why, at the Martin Clinic, we don't talk about frequent eating. Doc, I got to eat, I got to get up in the morning and eat right away. Okay, maybe that's you. But you don't need to eat 6 times a day. If you do, you are metabolically unwell. The reset will fix it. If you have hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia, which is too much sugar, high sugar ranges, that's diabetes. But hypo is part of it. They're sisters. They're in the same family. If you got hypoglycemia, you and carbs don't get along. If you have hyperglycemia, you and carbs don't get along. The idea is not to eat frequently. The idea is to eat the right food. Eat protein. Have a steak instead of a slice of bread. Have bacon and eggs in the morning instead of toast. Oh, Doc, I got to have my toast with... No, you don't. You might want them. You might crave them, but you don't need them because they're going to be sugar. So, the pesky neighbor. You see, the problem is when you eat the wrong way, over a period of time, insulin's always around. It becomes the pesky neighbor. And your body, again, is so intelligent. It's so intelligent that oh no, here comes that neighbor again. And it resists it. Insulin resistance. Coming to a theater near you if you're a bad eater. And we talked about this yesterday, right? A lagging indicator. I love Tony Jr. He's smart. He's like his mother, not like me. He's a smart boy. And he said, Dad, that sugar is a lagging indicator. Meaning, right? Meaning, don't rely on, I'm not a diabetic. Ooh, you know how many, and usually it was with men. They come in. I already got the results. I'm the closer. I would come in and I already knew. I didn't have to look at anything. I already had all the results. I got all the lab work. I got, all the testing that I did. And I knew. Joe Blow there was on the Titanic. And some of them were very receptive. And I scared the living life out of them. But some of them weren't. My doctor didn't say I was a diabetic. What are you saying? I said, well, in words only, you're not a diabetic, but you are a diabetic. You and carbs don't get along. Yeah. And, women usually, they take teaching much better than men. I talked to you about that yesterday. It's where we come from. Nah, not all men, of course. Lots. But when you develop, you see, you got a bad diet. And this is all introduction to what I'm going to continue to do, because yesterday I started. I talked about, a very good question was asked to me last week. Is there any test that will tell me that I have insulin resistance? Well, yes and no. I mean, you can get your insulin measured. Let me just do this. It's in my way. You can get your insulin measured, but it's not the best indicator. The best indicator for insulin resistance are symptoms. Now, we talked about yesterday, check the engine light. Check the engine light. Fatigue, weight, sort of unexplained weight gain. Really maybe not have changed your eating that much, and you're gaining weight. Those are a sign your body's saying hello. Now, that can be other hormones too. It's not always just insulin. Itis, I-T-I-S. Whenever you hear itis, like arthritis, okay? Tinnitus, often it's a hidden sign of insulin resistance. It's your body trying to tell you to wake up, smell the coffee, and change your diet. Your body is unreal. It will talk to you. Now, if you don't have this chart, it's in my book. Book is coming again. We sold out. The #1 health book in Canada. #1 on the hit parade. Sold out. Publisher didn't give us enough. And because of COVID and all this and that, anyway, it's coming again. But this chart is in the book. And there are 15 signs that it's time to check the engine, because the engine light's coming on. I'll just read a few. And then there's strong indicators. Some of them are so surprising. They are, people go, what? Yeah, but your body's trying to get your attention. A lot of times you got unexplained, just sore all the time and pain. An itis. Even in the ears, the buzzing. Tinnitus. Jointitis. A lot of times it's insulin resistance. Your cells see the pesky neighbor coming and they create inflammation. It's a response to insulin. You come around here so much, I'm creating inflammation. And of course, inflammation's not Houdini, but when it comes, it can be very dangerous for your body. It don't happen overnight though. Sleep issues. We talked about that. Fatty tongue syndrome. Too much insulin. Imagine storing fat in your tongue. I always thought you got a fat tongue when you talk too much. I would have the fattest. But no, it comes from insulin. Insulin's a growth hormone. Guys, listen. Any type of cancer, don't feed it insulin. Skin tags. Skin tags? Yeah. You got skin tags? Your body's talking to you. Hello. Dowager's hump. You know what a Dowager's hump is? Right at like T1, which is in your spine, and you develop like a fat ball right there. The body, that's insulin resistance. Your body's trying to tell you something. I needed more parking space to put sugar. Interesting, isn't it? You see, sleep issues, digestive issues. Now look, I understand about the GI. Leaky gut, yeast in the gut and all this and that. But one of the signs of insulin resistance, you start having unexplained digestive issues. Your body's screaming. Remember what I talked to you about acid reflux? Hello! The body is screaming. Stop eating carbs. Crappy carbs are making me. And so your body starts an acid reflux. It's a reaction to the pesky neighbor. Overactive bladder. You're peeing like a racehorse 3 or 4 times. You know how many ladies have told me over the years? When I go out to shop, I got to find out where all those washrooms are. Now look, that can be a specific bladder issue, and I get all that, okay? I'm just telling you some of the unexplained signs that the parking lot is full and you need to be careful. It's amazing how many things clear up when you lower your insulin. Remember, the metabolic reset was not primarily made for weight loss. It wasn't. And I understand when people say, well, Doc, here's how much weight, it can't be working, I'm not losing weight. No, I wasn't aiming at your weight. Look, it's the best weight loss program around. It is, because it's the healthiest weight loss. But I'm fixing hormones. I'm fixing, number one, numero uno, I'm fixing insulin resistance. It takes 30 days to fix insulin resistance. There's a reason. 30 days, eggs, meat, and cheese, no fruits, no vegetables, no grains, no nothing. Doc, I haven't lost weight yet. Well, yeah, but first of all, I emptied your liver in a week. First week, liver is empty. The Costco parking lot is empty. You have to just trust the process. But at the cellular level, I'm aiming for your cells, the resistance, the bad neighbor, pesky. It fixes it. If you understand that, and maybe I should teach it more and more and more and more and more. But if you understand why, because insulin resistance is at the root of cancer. It's at the root of cardiovascular disease. It is at the root of Alzheimer's. It is 100% the root of diabetes. Of course it is. Diabetes is a food problem. Diabetes is a food problem. The cure is in food, not in meds. Meds are only meant to manage it. Food fixes it because it's a food problem. It's the biggest problem in healthcare today. This is why I talk to you about the elephant in the room. It drives me mad that here we are. Virus, close the world, do this, do that. Look, there's a virus, I get it. But the biggest problem is not the virus. What kills 10 times more people is metabolic syndrome. Because at the root of all of those chronic diseases that I talked to you about yesterday is food. And it's a thing that it's what you can do. It's what you are in control of. Right? There's some things you can't control. But food you can. I didn't say it was easy, but you can control it. And this is me. I'm a motivator. I want you to understand. Let me see if there's any other carpal tunnel. Now look, I know all about the carpal tunnel, okay? And they talk about the impingement at the wrist area there, and the carpal tunnel nerve is under that, and you get numbness, and oftentimes it's somebody at the office or whatever, and working on a computer. I get it. But a lot of times you get two people in a room. They're doing the same thing. They're working the same job. One gets carpal tunnel and the other one doesn't. A lot of times the difference is in insulin. Some of these things are surprising. Acne. Now, oftentimes with acne, it's leaky gut and hormones, too much estrogen. But there's also a factor there, too much insulin. Now, tomorrow we're going to go over strong indicators. But I think you guys are getting this. I know you are. You're getting this. About what you can control. You have to get your insulin down. Don't push the envelope. Don't push it. Because this is what makes us unwell. Now, there's other factors. I talk about, xenoestrogens and the environment in which we live. And, you can do the best you can and try not to use too much chemicals and all this and that. Yep. I agree, 100%. But food. It's really, really important. Okay. So tomorrow we're going to do another morning session. Okay. And I'll probably start next week going on the Thursdays doing afternoon sessions. So we'll do a morning session tomorrow. We really appreciate, let me just make a little bit of a statement. Tony Jr. did it perfectly well yesterday. You know what, guys? Like when you are on our private Facebook group, remember it's Facebook, okay? And it's free, but it's Facebook. We're not paying for that. It's a private group. And Facebook actually loves private groups. What they don't like is controversy. They don't. And look, sometimes, when you want to post something, like, for example, don't ask me, and I don't even want it on our private Facebook group, start pontificating about vaccines. Don't do it. You won't hear me comment on it. I won't. Because we have a platform. It's Facebook. And they have rules. And it's free. So, it's the way it is. And they have their rules, and, we have to monitor that. That's why Brandy and Jeanette, Nicole, they're always monitoring. And you know what? Sometimes we just, we got to take something down from that. Generally, it's very good. You guys are unbelievably good. But just understand that. It's not us. It's Facebook, and they want us to monitor it. And we don't want to lose the privilege of that group. And, we don't want to be censored. But so be careful. You might feel very strongly about something. That's all right. That's you. But you might not be able to post it. Okay? Just understand that. That's where we're coming from. Okay? And you're not going to hear me. You won't get me when someone wants to talk about vaccines, I want to talk about your immune system. I want to build up your immune system. Okay? So that's me. I've always been like that. I've been like that with the flu shot. I always talk about, here's Dr. Martin's natural flu shot. Here's what I like. I don't get negative on it. I don't. Okay? I had a radio show for 20 years. I had rules on the radio show too. I had to live with rules. The CRTC, Canadian Broadcasting, would regulate my radio show. And you know me. I guess I'm controversial. I have a way of, I think I'm right. And I got all this clinical experience. That's what I tell people. I've talked to researchers, and all due respect, I do. I respect them. I mean it. But I don't necessarily agree with them, and they don't agree with me. And I say, you know what? I had real patients. Thousands and thousands and thousands of diabetics. Thousands of them over the years. I was famous for diabetes. People come from all over North America to see me, even from Europe. I'm a food guy, primarily, right? And I was very consistent. And I told people, well, my clinical experience is this. So when you ask me about something that, I know about it, or I've used it and I didn't find it to be that effective, well, that's just because clinically I had to get results. I had a huge practice, and that was because I was getting results. Like people didn't come just to see this face. No, but you see, going back to the radio station, well, I had a radio station. I understood the rules of CRTC in Canada. A syndicated radio show, I had to be, I just couldn't say some things, and I understood that. I can't tell people I can cure cancer. You're going to be off the radio in 5 seconds. And by the way, I don't cure nothing. Honey? Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to, because that sort of became a topic yesterday there, and Tony Jr. put out a perfect thing right on our private Facebook group, and just the way our hands are tied about these things. So just understand that, okay? It's a privilege, really. Like, that's what Facebook is saying. You're using a venue that's free, and it's a privilege. And we might take it away, so we don't want that. Okay. Share this, by the way, with your friends. Okay? Share this with your family. Share the program. It helps to get the message out there. Okay? Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.